Hello guys, it's me Alan. This video is going to be like a compilation of tips and how to use your scene matrix. Is meant for people who is new on the device. I hope video is very helpful for you. On this video we are going to create a config pretty much from zero. Alright, I'm gonna show you how to create smart actions, how you can use input modifiers to activate those smart actions, and how you can create groups so you can have different loadouts for your games, where you can have a loadout for a specific weapon, anti-recoil, or you can have a loadout for a specific character or operator that has a very unique abilities. Okay, so stay tuned and let's go ahead and start. For this example, we are using a Star Wars Battlefront, so let's go ahead and create a new config. Click on the three dots in the top right corner, new config. Now we select the game, Star Wars Battlefront, there it is. I am on PlayStation 5, so I'm gonna select the PS4 configuration. On this config, I'm gonna play with mouse and keyboard, so those are my inputs. And how my scene matrix is connected to the PlayStation 5 is using the USB connection. As you can see, I'm using the P5 mate. So this option over here, output Xbox PS4 for USB, is gonna work in this case. So I'm gonna hit the new. And right now, Scene Matrix is downloading the smart translator to build the aiming system for this game. Remember, it's very important that your game has to be set up just like Scene Technologies specifies. If you hit here on yes, you are going to be linked to the page where you can see how you have to set up your game, all right? I'm gonna click on no because my game is already set up. Okay, it's already done. Now we can edit our config to our liking, right? I'm gonna click on the pencil icon. And now we are on the edit config section of the Scene Matrix Manager. And here you can change the name of your config or the color of the Scene Matrix LED, as you can see, all right? And here, if you have a config from SceneCloud or someone else, you can paste it right here by clicking in this option and choose the full config, all right? So our connection method is PlayStation 4 via USB, so because we are using the P5 mate, right? Or aiming sources means that what we are using to aiming, right? So in this case, we are using a mouse, as you can see. It's like shaded, all right? And here is very important, your mouse DPI has to match with Scene Matrix Manager's DPI. So I'm using 3200. So let's go ahead and change it. There it is. I'm gonna save it. And now, because we are going to do many things and we are using the smart actions, it's very important that you have to enable the advanced editing experience, all right? So click on this link, and as you can see, now we have more tools that we are going to need next. If you swipe to the right, you can see the hip aim where you can choose your sensitivity. You never change your sensitivity by changing the DPI, guys. No, you have to change your sensitivity here and only here, all right? And same for aiming down sights. We have this another page if you prefer to have a different sensitivity when you're zooming, okay? So let's go ahead and go to the right. And here is the mapping sections. This is where we are going to spend more time doing different stuff. So first of all, I want to explain you something. We have already mapped some actions of the controller on the keyboard and the mouse. As you can see, in the left side, this is our inputs, okay? So for the left mouse button, we have already mapped the right trigger, okay? So we can shoot in the game, all right? And same for the right mouse button, we have the zoom in, that is L2 for this case. And as you can see, every time I press a button, it gets like shaded, you know, like the background goes black. This means that this action is active. And this one is already shaded because aiming is active at all times. So our Scene Matrix is always listening the input of the mouse, as you can see, right? Same thing for the cluster of the WSD that we use for movement, right? I think this is the first thing that you have to do every time you pick up a new config. You have to remap it to your liking, right? For example, I like to melee with the middle mouse button. On this game, to melee, you have to press R3, and as you can see, R3 is mapped to the E key. I don't like it there. Let's go ahead and change it. So to remap a keybind, you have to click on the key that you want to change. On this case is E here. And this is the list of mouse buttons or keyboard keys that we can use to map our action, okay? Instead of scrolling all the way, I just press my key directly and it's selected, as you can see. So middle mouse button, there it is. I'm gonna save it. And now if I press the middle mouse button, I'm gonna melee. And that's it. That's how you remap a keybind. Let's do another one, all right? So R1. R1 is linked on the G key. That is way too far to my liking. So I prefer it on E. So let's go ahead and change it. So I'm gonna click on the input, the G, and then I'm gonna hit my E key. So it's selected, there it is. And save it. And now I can use the E key to activate the R1 ability. Okay, what about to create a new mapping? For example, we can use the share button on PlayStation. So you go down and you hit on this icon on the plus sign to add a new mapping. All right, now you have to select the key that you need for this new mapping. I'm gonna use the backspace key, all right, in my keyboard. There it is. And now you select the button action. In this case, is the share button. Save it. And there you go. If I press the backspace key, it's gonna use the share button. As you can see, there you go. All right. Okay, next, let's create our first smart actions. Okay, so in Battlefront, the combat roll maneuver is very handy because it allows you to stay away from enemies or jump to cover. So when you are rolling, you have a reduced damage, all right? So I like to have a smart action there where if I hold a button, my character is going to keep combat rolling, all right? So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so go to the mapping section and do the plus, like a new mapping, all right? Okay, for this smart action, I'm going to use the back mouse button. As you can see, there it is. Selected, there it is. Now, this is going to be a smart action, so we need the smart action editor. And as you can see, we have this icon over here. If you don't have it, make sure you click the advanced editing experience, all right, in the first page. So let's go ahead and click it. So in this window, we are going to edit our smart action. Here you can see the mapping or the key that we are going to use. And next on this icon, you can see how this smart action is going to be active, okay? By default, it's on health. That means that while I have pressed the button, the smart action is going to keep repeating, okay, in a loop. As you can see, we have this infinite circle. So there you go. Okay, so for combat roll, we need to tap a circle button. Every time you create a new smart action to Matrix, you have to explain it like you explain to a little kid, you know, like step by step, all right? So for tapping a button, we are actually doing many actions. The first one is pressing the button. The second one is releasing the button, okay? And there is some times between each action. So let's go ahead and do it. Here is the circle button. I'm gonna click it. This means that the button is pressed, okay? And under we have this slider that shows the button status. Like this is by default is pressed. In the left side you can see is release, is indicated by this arrow. And at the far right we have the tapping, that it means press and release, okay? We can use this one, but I'm going to go step by step for this example, all right? So let's go ahead and put it on press. Next, we are going to determine the time when this button is pressed, okay? So we are going to use 50 for this one. There it is. Now we need to release this button, all right? So again, circle, and now we select the release state like this. And before this button is going to be pressed again, we need to have a time when this button is released. So there you go. We press another one, and there it is. And we have our button sequence. The button is going to be pressed for 15 milliseconds. It's going to be released for 50 milliseconds, and it's going to be pressed for 50 milliseconds. This loop is going to repeat while I have hold down the back mouse button, all right? So there you go. I'm gonna save it and let's try it. As you can see, now my character, it keeps combat rolling when I held down the button, all right? Okay, so another smart action that is very frequently used is the rapid fire, all right? It's a little more tricky, and let's go ahead and do one, okay? So for rapid fire, I'm going to use the left mouse button because it's my firing button, right? So I'm going to create a new mapping. It's going to be the left mouse button, right? I'm going to need the smart action editor, so I'm going to click it. There it is. And now the rapid fire is pulling and releasing the trigger, right? So pretty much the same thing that the other smart action. We have the left mouse button is going to be held down and it's going to repeat while this button is held down. Okay, so first action, we need to press the right trigger, R2 is 100%, that means it's press, okay, it's press all the way. So now we have a time where this trigger is pulled. I'm gonna use, just for this example, 50 milliseconds. Now we need to release the trigger, so I'm gonna click again on the R2 icon, but this time I'm going to put it on 0%. Okay, this means that it's released. So it's a little bit different from the other face buttons, right? So there you go, 0%, and it has to spend a time when it is released. So there it is, another 60, and we have the smart action ready. Save it. Now let me show you something that's very important that you understand, all right? So here we have two mappings with exactly the same button, that is left mouse button, and they are triggering exactly the same button in the controller, that is R2. So we are going to have a conflict, okay? Why? Because these two buttons are using the same action, and Scene Matrix has to decide which action is going to work. And mappings has a higher priority than our smart actions. So on this case, when I pull the trigger, Scene Matrix is only going to shoot. My rapid fire is not going to work because the firing mapping has a higher priority. Let me show you. There it is, okay? So how we fix it, okay? How we can use our rapid fire? We can use input modifiers or groups, okay? Input modifiers are just like the left shift in your keyboard, right? When you hold the left shift and press a key in your keyboard, you print a different character, right? Same thing with the input modifiers. These allow us to hold them down and our inputs are going to trigger a different action, okay? So let's go ahead and do it. You go down and click on the three dots, go to the input modifier section, all right? And here we have these three. I'm gonna change it, so I'm gonna click on this one. For this example, I'm going to use the X key in my keyboard, right? There it is. Okay, save it. Now I go ahead and go to my smart action, my rapid fire smart action. I'm gonna click it to change it. Then you click on the icon of the mapping, okay? And this list falls down and I can select or add an input modifier. It's gonna be the keyboard X key. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna save it. Okay, as you can see, my rapid fire now is like opaque, and this means that when I hold the X key, it's going to be ready to go. All right. So if I shoot normally, and if I hold the X key, I have my rapid fire. There it is. So maybe holding another key when you are shooting isn't uncomfortable for you. There is another way to do it, and here is where we're gonna start to using groups, all right? Okay, first let me remove the input modifier, so I'm gonna click on the smart action to edit it. I'm gonna click here, and I put none, all right? There it is, save. Okay, Scene Matrix groups. Our groups are like a toolbox, like this one, okay? Imagine that each compartment is a group, all right? So in each group, you can have a different smart actions. For example, let's say that this one is anti-recoil, all right? So on this group, I have the AK-47 rifle, all right? And I have anti-recoil for it. There it is. And next, on this other group, I have smart actions for an operator, okay, or character that makes a very unique move, like on this example, Lightsaber heroes. We need a smart action that always rise up the guard, all right? And let's suppose that this one is the smart action for Jedis that wants to raise the guard. So I'm gonna put it right here, all right? On the next one, I have another weapon, a different weapon that needs rapid fire and anti-recoil, okay? So I'm going to put those there. And there it is. And every time I'm active on one group, I have access to the smart actions that belongs to that group, okay? Just like this. And click on the group customization. And we have 15 groups, okay? Right now, we are on the on-group layer. So we are not in any group. The smart actions that we use are ungrouped, like this one. Like the rapid fire is ungroup, like my combat role is ungroup, okay? On this game, all the characters do the combat role or dodging, so I want my combat role smart action to be on the on-group layer. But my rapid fire maybe is not great for lightsaber heroes, because every time you shoot, you actually are wasting your stamina and you can not use your guard. So smart action is not for me. I want a specific group to activate the rapid fire, so I can use my rapid fire on classes that needs rapid fire, all right? So let's go ahead and let's create our first group. That's gonna be a rapid fire. So I go back to the customization group. Our first step is going to be always to name our group, okay? So I'm going to name it RF for rapid fire, all right? If you remember, we have a conflict here, right? Because the rapid fire is mapped on the left mouse button, same with this mapping, like the normal mapping. So in order to avoid conflicts, we are going to put our rapid fire smart action on the rapid fire group, and we're going to specify that it's input exclusive. This means that the smart actions inside there has a higher priority, all right? So you're gonna click it here and make sure you select the circle. And there it is. Now our smart actions of that group has a higher priority than the mappings on our config, okay? So there you go. Now let's gonna click on the smart action, on the rapid fire smart action. And as you can see on the mapping icon, in the right side, we have the on group. Click it, and now you can see the list of all the groups, all right? We're going to select rapid fire, and now our rapid fire smart action only going to work when the rapid fire group is active, okay? So there it is. Save it, close it. So it's already active, and if I press it, I have my rapid fire. And I don't need an input modifier, I don't need to press any key, it's already done. However, I cannot get out of this group. Now we need a smart action to activate our group and another smart action to deactivate the group. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go back to mappings. And here is where you start to making design choices, right? How you want to console, where you want the keys to enable your groups or your smart actions, all right? So for rapid fire or for loadouts, I always use the function keys. In this case, I don't have it on my keyboard, but I use the numbers over here. So let's go ahead and create the rapid fire activator group. So you click on new mapping, press the key for the activator, 1, there it is. Then the action is going to do is a smart action. So we need the editor. In order that this smart action work, I wanted just to press the key to enable the group. I don't want to hold it. So you change the activation for press. There it is. Now we have here the group management options. As you can see, enable, toggle, and disable. I'm going to enable, right? My rapid fire, there it is the first one by default. There you go. And this smart action is going to be in group because it's going to be available always, no matter on which group I am. All right, so there it is, save it. And now we need another smart action to deactivate the groups. I always do one smart action to disable all groups. Let's go ahead and do it. New mapping. I'm going to use the tab key for that one. All right, there it is. It's going to be a smart action. It's going to be active when I press the key. There it is. I go down to the group options, disable group. And as you can see, we have this slider. If you click on the plus sign, you're going to go on each group individually. If you go all the way to the right, you got all. So this is going to disable all. All right, there it is. Save it. Save it. And there you go. Now we are on the rapid fire group. And if I press the tab key, now I am on no groups. I am on the on group layer. All right. If I press 1, I have my rapid fire back. So it's that simple. All right. And this is pretty much how we are going to do each group for each weapon or each character. In this game, the officer class allows you to get points very quickly so you can pick up a hero. And the SE4040C weapon is very, very good. So let's go ahead and do it an anti-recoil for that weapon. I'm gonna select the class. As you can see, there it is. It has a lot of recoil, right? So let's go ahead and create a group for the SE44C blaster gun. So first step, let's name our group. In the 3 dots, let's go to the group customization. I'm going to use the B group, all right? It's going to be SE4040C. There it is. Okay. Now, the second step, we need a group activator, okay? So I'm gonna click here for a new mapping. And I want number 2 for my SSE loadout. There it is, 2. And it's going to be active when I press it. Very important. I need the Smart Actions editor. And now I'm going to enable that group, okay? So enable group is rapid fire. I click it here and I have my SE4040C, okay? Save it, close it, save it. There you go. Now let's create the anti-recoil smart action for the SE4040C, okay? So let's click it, plus sign when I'm shooting. So my shooting button is the left mouse button. Smart action editor. My anti-recoil is going to work when I held down the firing button, so it's okay there and held. And we have here the tools for the anti-recoil, the aim magnitude, that means the intensity when you move your aiming, and the aim angle, that means the direction, okay? This weapon goes up, so I need to move it down, right? So I'm going to use my aim magnitude and my aim angle. And aim angle is going to be down, so they neutralize each other and shoot straight, all right? How much I have to use it? Well, you have to figure it out, right? I'm gonna try with 4. There you go. Save it. Now let's put this smart action where it belongs. So I'm gonna click on group. I'm gonna place it on the SE4040C group. There it is. Save it, close it, save it. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to press the key 2 to load out my anti-recoil. There it is. And as you can see, it's shooting pretty straight, okay? There is something that I want to show you, and I did it like this on purpose. Right now, we have active the SE4040C anti-recoil group, okay? And if I press 1, it's going to activate the rapid fire. So these both are active. And this maybe is not something that you want to happen, right? So we need to use a different enable group function, all right? Let me show you. Let's fix it, all right? I'm going to use my activator, rapid fire, there it is. Right now, it's going to activate the rapid fire group, but if I activate another group, they both are going to be active. And maybe you only want the rapid fire on this one, right? So to fix it, we have a different way to enable our groups and enable only the rapid fire group, okay? And as you can see, if I move the slider, I get this like a crown. This means that this group is going to be active only, and only this group. The other ones are going to be turned off. So this is what we need. So we have the certainty that when you press the rapid fire group, only the rapid fire group is going to be active, all right? So there it is, save it. Let's go ahead and do the same for the SE4040 group only. There it is. Okay, so let me show you. Both are active. We're going to turn it off with the tab key. There it is. Now, if I press 1, it's the rapid fire. If I press 2, it's my SE4040C and my rapid fire turn off. If I press rapid fire, it's only the rapid fire. Okay? Now we have the certainty that when we press a group, only that group is going to work. And we don't have like weird inputs, all right? So that's pretty much it. Now let's start to make more groups for another characters, all right? So on Battlefront, one class that is very popular is the Rocket Trooper. Okay, so this is the Jet Trooper. As you can see, it has a jetpack, right? And when we press the combat roll, we do this dodge that gives you immunity for a little bit. One trick that is very useful is that every time you release the zoom button, you dodge. That makes you very hard to hit, all right? So let's go ahead and do it. Let's create a new group for the Jet Trooper, right? So let's click on edit. Let's go back to mappings, group customization. It's going to be here. I'm gonna call it Jet, right? There it is. Save it. Okay, second step, we need our group activator, all right? So plus sign. I'm going to use the key 3 for my Jettrooper group. There it is. It's going to be on press, very important. Smart actions, enable group, and remember, enable only the Jettrooper, okay? So let's go ahead and Jet, there it is, save it. And now we create the smart action for our Jettrooper, okay? So let's go ahead and plus. And this smart action is going to be triggered when I release the zoom button. It's the right mouse button for me, okay? So there it is, right mouse button. I need a smart action, there it is. The activation is going to be when it's released, there it is. And the smart action is going to be dodging. For dodging, you have to tap the circle button, okay? Just like the smart action that we did previously. So I'm going to do differently this time. I'm going to press here. I'm going to put it right here, so it's a tapping. But every time you put an input, make sure you finish with a time, okay? So let's go ahead and put a time. I'm going to put it 15 milliseconds. So there it is, 15 milliseconds. So let's gonna save it. And the final step, very important, let's put this smart action on the group that it belongs. So let's click here for the Jet Trooper, save it, close it, save it, okay? So we are here, I'm going to press 3, I am the Jet Trooper, I'm shooting. If I hold it and release the right mouse button, my character dodges. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one. Okay, on Battlefront, the Lightsaber heroes, they use the guard. It's very important that you always have your guard up, okay, so you can deflect the blasters and attacks, all right? But the way this guard works is by holding the left trigger, or in this case, the right mouse button. Like this, you have to keep it held down all the time, okay? And maybe this is annoying for you, and it's very easy to forget it and lower your guard, you know. Personally, I prefer a different mechanic. You can change the mechanic with a smart action. We can do it on a toggle smart action. This means that if I press and release a button, my guard is going to be up all the time. And when I press that button again, my guard is going to be released. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the smart action for a perpetual defense. Okay, first step, let's name our new group. Okay, so let's go ahead, group customization. I'm gonna put it like here, and because this one only works great for lightsaber heroes, I'm going to call it lightsaber. There it is. Second step, we need our group activator. I'm gonna plus a new mapping. I'm going to use the key 4, there it is. This one is via smart action, press, okay, enable, and enable only the Lightsaber Group, all right? Save it, close it, save it. And now we create our smart action. So a new mapping. I'm going to use my right mouse button, okay? Right mouse button, there it is. It's going to be a smart action. And now to change to a toggle action, we have to change the activation mode. So now on the activation, we are going to use the toggle mode. Okay, so click there, go to the bottom and click on the toggle. And I'm going to use the press, okay? Now, in a toggle activation, when I press that button, my smart action is going to be repeating in a loop until I press that button again. So it's going to stop. On this case, I want to be held the guard up, so I need to hold down the L2 trigger, there it is, is my guard. Let's put this smart action where it belongs. It's going to be the Lightsaber Group. There it is. Save it, close it, save it. And now I enable the Lightsaber Group, number 4. And after pressing and release, I have my guard up. I don't need to hold any button. So now I can focus on the attack or use my abilities, right? If I want to lower my guard, I just press it again, and that's it. And there you go. Now let's create another one. Okay, in this game, Emperor Palpatine is very powerful, but it has a very weird mechanic. He shoots lightning from his hands, right? But it's only one hand for each trigger. So if I pull the left trigger, as you can see, only shoots lightning with the left hand. If I press the right trigger, only shoots lightning with the right hand. I have to press both triggers, so I have lightning with both hands and have a bigger damage output. Personally, I prefer to use one button to shoot lightning with both hands. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so first step, let's name our new group, right? Group customization. I'm going to put amp for Palpatine, right? Save it. Second step, let's create our group activator, okay? I'm gonna put it on the key 5. There it is. It's going to be on press activation, smart action editor, enable group. Let's go ahead and select amp Palpatine. There it is with the crown. Save it, close, save it. Now let's create our new mapping for this smart action. My shooting button is going to be the left mouse button, right? Left mouse button. It's going to be a smart action. When I held down the left mouse button, I want to both triggers be pulled down like this. And this smart action belongs to Emperor Palpatine. There it is. Save it, close it, save it. Okay, so right now I am the lightsaber hero. If I press 5, I have the M Palpatine, and if I pull the trigger, I have the lightning on both hands. And there you go. This is how easy you can make loadouts for specific weapons. So you can use different anti-recoils, or you can use different abilities for specific heroes or operators. So this video is too long. I hope it's very useful for you. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for all the guys who are supporting my Discord channel. And this config is going to be available on the XIM cloud. So, well, that's it for me. Thank you for your time. See you next time.